Have you ever felt like the world was moving too fast and somehow you were standing still? Like everyone else was figuring it out, making progress, achieving goals, building something worthwhile, while you were stuck in place, trying to make sense of your own thoughts. That quiet frustration, that aching feeling of falling behind it, doesn't mean you failed. It means you're waking up, and that's where real transformation begins. You see, life doesn't hand you a map. It hands you a blank page. And too many people spend years waiting for signs, waiting for permission, waiting for the right time. But there's something powerful that happens the moment you realize no one is coming to save you. That moment when you stop looking outward for answers and start building from within. That's when your story changes. You are not here just to exist. You're not here just to go through the motions, check the boxes, and blend into the background. Deep down, you know you were made for more. And that whisper inside you, that quiet voice that keeps urging you to keep going, keep pushing, keep climbing, it's not noise. It's a signal, a reminder that no matter how many times you've stumbled, the fight in you isn't over. Not yet. Maybe you've heard it before, that phrase, you're not where you want to be, and maybe that's true. But what they don't tell you is that it's okay. You're not supposed to have everything figured out. Growth is messy, progress is painful, and becoming something more than you were yesterday, that's the real battle. There are going to be moments where everything in you wants to give up. Moments when your dreams seem too far, too unrealistic, too heavy to carry any longer. But those are the very moments that define you, that shape your character, and reveal the strength you didn't know you had. You're going to have to choose discipline over distraction, purpose over pleasure, growth over comfort. Every single day, the world will tempt you to stay the same, to shrink, to settle, to give in. But deep within you, there's something stronger, a fire. And if you hold on to that, if you protect it and nurture it, you'll begin to move. A movement isn't always visible. Sometimes the greatest progress is happening when it feels like nothing is. The late nights, the early mornings, the small wins no one sees. The quiet battles you fight in silence. Those are the building blocks of a future that will one day speak for itself. And yes, it's going to be hard. If it were easy, everyone would do it. Everyone would chase their potential. Everyone would live with purpose. But most people don't. Not because they can't, but because they won't. They let fear win. They let doubt convince them they're not ready. They let the opinions of others drown out the voice of their own desire. But that's not going to be your story. Because you know now that greatness isn't reserved for the chosen. It's earned by the committed. It's forged in the fire of effort, resilience, and relentless action. And no matter what the world says, your pace is your power. You don't have to match anyone's timeline. You don't have to compete with anyone's success. The only person you're racing is the version of yourself who gave up. Every time you choose to keep going when it's hard, every time you show up when no one's watching, every time you believe in yourself, when it would be easier to quit, you're building something unshakable. You're proving to yourself that you're not just a dreamer, you're a doer, a fighter, a creator of your own path. Well, let's be honest, you will always feel like you're winning. You'll have setbacks, you'll face rejection, you'll question your direction, your decisions, even your worth. In those moments, it will be tempting to retreat, to hide from the pressure, to pretend like it doesn't matter. But you'll know better. Because inside you is a memory of every time you've overcome before. Every challenge you thought would break you, but didn't. Every obstacle you outlasted. That resilience is not luck. It's who you are, and it's what will carry you through the next storm. The truth is, most people don't rise because of opportunity. They rise because of necessity. Because staying the same became more painful than change. Because they reached a point where they couldn't tolerate mediocrity for one more second. That's when something shifts. That's when the hunger is born. And maybe you're feeling that now, a deep desire to evolve, to become someone you can be proud of, to finally take control of your life and your direction. If you are, then lean into it. Don't ignore it. Don't smother it with excuses or distractions. Let it grow. Let it move you. Because no one else can do it for you. No one else can run your race, climb your mountain, or carry your dream. This is your life, your moment, your chance to rewrite this story. And the beautiful thing is, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. You just have to keep showing up. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step away from the person you used to be and closer to the person you were meant to become. So keep pushing forward even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because in those moments you are becoming unbreakable. You are becoming undeniable. You are becoming the version of you that the world has yet to see but desperately needs. There's a powerful shift that happens when you stop chasing approval and start pursuing progress. When your focus moves away from pleasing others and lands fully on becoming the person you've always known you could be. That shift is where the climb really begins. Because once you realize that your life is your responsibility, you stop waiting for someone to show you the way. You start carving your own path, even if it means walking alone. And that kind of self-leadership, it doesn't come from comfort. It's born in discomfort. In those quiet hours when it's just you, your doubts, and the decision to rise anyway. Let's get something straight. There's no timeline for greatness. There's no expiration date on your growth. Some people hit their stride early. Others take time to bloom. But what matters most isn't when you arrive, it's that you keep moving, keep evolving, keep building day by day until the work you've done in silence becomes impossible to ignore. But that takes courage, real courage, the kind that keeps showing up when motivation runs dry, the kind that wakes up and fights even when yesterday felt like a failure, the kind that chooses to believe in possibilities when the odds don't look great. Some days it's going to feel like you're walking through fog with no clear direction. But that's okay, because movement through uncertainty still moves you forward. And sometimes you'll look around and wonder why everyone else seems to have it figured out while you're still building from scratch. You'll wonder if you're doing it wrong, if you missed a step, if maybe you're just not meant for more. But those are just questions born from fear, not fact. And fear only has the power you give it. Everyone you admire, every success story you've ever heard started with uncertainty, with risk, with the unknown. What separates those who made it from those who didn't isn't talent. It's perseverance. It's the ability to keep going long after the excitement fades. That's what builds greatness. That's what creates momentum. But the problem for many people isn't that they don't dream, it's that they stop too soon. They start with fire, then let small setbacks turn into permanent stops. They try once, hit a wall, and convince themselves that maybe it just wasn't meant to be. But the truth is, that wall wasn't the end. It was a test, a challenge to see how badly you really want what you say you want. Are you willing to get up when you're tired? Are you willing to stay focused when it feels like no one sees you? Are you willing to keep pushing when the results aren't showing yet? Because that's where most people give up, right before everything begins to shift, right before the effort starts to compound, right before they would have proven to themselves that they had it in them all along. You have a choice every day. Give in to excuses or rise above them. And it doesn't take grand gestures. It takes the small, relentless actions, the daily habits, the hard decisions, the sacrifices no one else sees. That's where transformation happens. Not in public victories, but in private battles. You want more? Then demand more from yourself. Not out of shame, not out of pressure, but out of purpose. Because you know deep down, settling was never an option. Because playing small was never the goal. Because living half alive in fear of failure is not what you were born for. You don't need permission to become your best. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need the will to begin, to keep going, to silence the noise and stay grounded in your reason, your why. Because your why is what carries you with your how does it make sense. That why, it's personal, it's real, it's the fuel that turns discipline into a way of life. And the moment you connect with it, everything changes. Your priorities shift, your habits improve, your mindset strengthens, and you begin to move with intention, not just impulse. But understand this change won't come without resistance. Grit always meets friction. You'll be tested. You'll be challenged. You'll be challenged. You'll be challenged. You'll face days when nothing seems to go right. But even on those days, you are building something powerful, grit. And grit isn't flashy. It's not glamorous, but it's the reason some people make it and others don't. Every time you push through the temptation to quit, you're creating a stronger version of yourself. Every time you choose to rise after falling, you're building a foundation that can't be shaken by criticism, failure, or fear. You are not fragile. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are in progress. And that process is shaping you in ways you may not see yet, but one day it'll all make sense. So when it feels like the pressure is too much, remember this: pressure is not your enemy. It's your training ground. It's the fire that refines you, not the force that destroys you. Diamonds are made under pressure. Steel is forged in flame. And you're being prepared for something greater. There will be people who doubt you, people who underestimate you, people who try to box you in with their own limited beliefs. Let them. Their disbelief is not your burden. Their limits are not your ceiling. Your potential doesn't require their validation. And when the noise gets loud, when the distractions pull at your focus, when the doubt creeps in, return to the reason you started. Return to that fire inside that refuses to be extinguished. The one that knows without a shadow of a doubt that this life is not a rehearsal. This is it. This is your chance to create meaning, to build legacy, to rise above every limitation. You don't need to do it all today. You don't need to have all the answers, but you do need to take that next step, and then the next, and keep doing that until the distance between who you are and who you're becoming is so small. You can feel the shift happening in real time. There comes a time in every journey when the initial fire begins to fade, where the rush of new beginnings gives way to the grind of daily effort. And this is where most people turn back. Not because they lack potential, but because they misunderstood the process. They thought the dream alone would carry them. They forgot that dreams require work, gritty, unglamorous, consistent work. And if you've made it this far, that means you're already different. You didn't turn back, you're still here. So what do you do now in the middle of it all? When a goal feels hard, when a vision feels cloudy, when the energy isn't what it used to be, you dig deeper. You remember why you started. And you start to build something stronger than motivation. You build discipline. You build resolve. You build a reason that cannot be shaken by the setbacks that show up uninvited. Because at this stage, you're not just chasing results, you're becoming someone new. Someone who doesn't flinch at discomfort. Someone who doesn't break when the pace gets hard. Someone who doesn't need applause to keep showing up. That's the kind of person who wins not just once, but for life. And the truth is, you're going to face pressure from others, from yourself, from the expectations that hang over your head like clouds. But pressure doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're in the right place. Because only those on the verge of something greater ever feel the weight of it all pressing down. That pressure is proof that you're on the edge of a breakthrough. Now here's where the real challenge shows up. Life is going to start whispering things in your ear. is going to tell you you're tired, that it's not worth it, that you've already done enough, that maybe the goal wasn't meant for you after all. And those voices, they sound convincing because they're familiar, but they are not your truth. Your truth is in the fact that you've gotten this far, that you've pushed through days you thought would break you, that you've already survived more than most people ever will. And if you've come this far on grit alone, imagine what you're capable of when you begin to fully believe that you are not here to be average. It's easy to doubt yourself or progress slow, when the results aren't visible yet, when the sacrifices start to feel heavy. But remember this, progress is not always loud. Sometimes it's silent, invisible. It hides in the choices you make when no one's watching, the decision to get back up, the choice to keep learning, the willingness to improve when it would be easier to coast. That's where your edge is. You will always be motivated. No one is. But if you can be consistent even when it's boring, even when it's lonely, even when it's hard, you will separate yourself. Because most people only work when they feel like it. But champions work regardless. And maybe you've been wondering if you're capable, if this path is really for you, if all the effort is worth it. The answer, yes, 1,000 times yes. Not because it's guaranteed to be easy, but because it will be worth every ounce of energy you give. The process will challenge you, but it will also change you. It will sharpen you. It will strip away what doesn't belong. And when it's done, you'll look back and realize you didn't just achieve something. You became someone. You're not chasing quick wins. You're building something that lasts. And anything built to last takes time. It takes failure. It takes frustration. But it also creates strength, depth, and wisdom. You'll be able to stand tall, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Let the world doubt you. Let them sleep on you. Let them talk. That's not your concern. Your focus isn't proving them wrong. It's proving yourself right. Every day, you get the chance to confirm that your belief in your future was never misplaced. And here's what matters. You don't need massive victories every day. You need movement, forward motion, the willingness to be just 1% better than you were yesterday. Because those small steps, they add up, they compound. And over time, they build momentum that cannot be stopped. But you've got to stop waiting for the perfect conditions. Perfection is a myth. The stars won't align. The fear won't disappear. The doubt won't vanish. What will change is your mindset. And that shift from waiting to doing, from doubting to deciding, that's when you reclaim your power. Don't expect it to be fair. Life isn't fair, but it is responsive. It rewards effort. It rewards grit. It rewards those who show up again and again, not because they have to, but because they choose to. You have no idea who you could become if you just kept going, if you kept pressing on through the fall. If you refuse to quit when the fight got low, your potential is not a fixed point. It's elastic. It stretches with effort. And the more you give, the more you grow. And there will be breakthroughs moments when the world finally catches up to the work you've been doing in silence. But you won't be surprised because you'll know you earned it. You'll know how many times you got up when it made no sense to. How many nights you stayed focused while others slept on their dreams. And that satisfaction, it can't be bought. It's built. So keep going, not because it's easy, but because it's yours. Because you're crafting something no one else can replicate your future, your legacy. Your life lived fully, with intention and with no apology. The noise will fade, the obstacles will pass. But what you build during this stretch, during this moment, will stay with you forever. This is the season where you set the tone, where you choose not to settle, where you rise, even when it's hard. You're still in it, still pushing, still showing up, still refusing to fold. That says everything, because at this stage, It's not about hype anymore. It's about heart. It's not about how loud you start, but how strong you stay, and you're still standing. That means more than you know. You see, there's that moment in every climb when it starts to get steep, when the air gets thin, the support gets quiet, and you begin to wonder if you have anything left. That's the breaking point for most. But for the few who keep climbing, that's where transformation begins. That's where everything changes. Because your future doesn't belong to the loudest voice in the room. It belongs to the quiet one inside your head that says, keep going. The one that doesn't need attention or applause. The one that shows up even when no one's looking. That voice, that's your power. And the more you listen to it, the more unstoppable you become. What you're building right now is bigger than a goal. It's a mindset, a lifestyle, a refusal to live on the sidelines. And that shift from chasing comfort to embracing growth, that's the kind of decision that echoes across your whole life. It's not about chasing ease. It's about choosing purpose over and over, even when it hurts. Because let's be honest, it's not always going to feel worth it. Some days you're going to feel invisible, like the world keeps moving and you're stuck in the same place. But that's not the truth. That's the illusion of slow progress. Because while you're focused on the next step, life is learning in ways you can't see yet. Don't underestimate what you're building just because it doesn't look like much right now. The most powerful changes often begin unnoticed. The small wins, the internal shifts, the quiet victories that nobody claps for, but those are the ones that truly matter because they're the ones that last. There are going to be people who question your grind, who don't understand your vision, who make you feel like you're wasting your time. Let them talk, because the only person who needs to understand your path is you. And as long as you stay true to that, nothing else matters. You don't owe anyone an explanation for why you're rising. You don't need to justify your goals, your pace, or your dreams. You just need to keep working, keep evolving, keep proving first to yourself, and then to the world that you're not backing down. Obstacles will keep coming. That's the price of leveling up. But the way you respond to them, that's what defines you. Not the obstacle itself, but your response to it. You can let it stop you, or you can let it shape you. Every setback is a setup. Every delay is a test of patience. Every failure is a lesson in disguise. The faster you accept that, the faster you rise. Because it's never really about what happens to you. It's about how you handle it, what you do with it, how you transform pain into purpose, struggle into strength. Think about how far you've already come. Not just physically, but mentally, emotionally. You face things that could have broken you, but you're still here. That resilience, that's not common. That's not weak. That's a sign that there's something inside you that refuses to be extinguished. You're not the same person who started this journey. And that's a good thing. You're outgrowing old limits. You shattered old stories. And now you're writing a new chapter. One that's built on truth, effort, and relentless self-belief. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Growth will cost you. It'll cost your comfort. It'll cost your old routines. It might even cost relationships that no longer align with who you're becoming. But that's part of the process. You cannot rise and remain the same. Elevation requires separation from habits, from mindsets, from anything that keeps you small. Don't be afraid to let go of what no longer serves you. You're not here to carry the weight of old versions of yourself. You're here to evolve. And sometimes that means closing chapters, walking away from the familiar, choosing the unknown, not because it's safe, but because it's necessary. You can't grow in a space that demands you stay the same. You need room to stretch, to fail, to experiment, to reinvent, and most importantly, to believe again in your strength. in your vision, in your ability to rise, no matter how many times you've fallen. And if you're still doubting whether it's worth it, ask yourself this: what's the alternative? Settling, shrinking, waking up every day with a whisper in your soul saying, you were meant for more? That voice doesn't go away. It only gets louder with time, and eventually it turns into regret, not because you tried and failed, but because you never tried at all. Because you let fear rate your story instead of faith in your own effort. Not anymore. Not now. You've already committed. You've already paid the price in time, energy, sacrifice. That means something. Don't throw it away just because the next chapter looks hard. Let that investment fuel you. Let it remind you how far you've come and how much is still waiting on the other side. This is your proving ground, the moment where you stop seeking permission and start moving like you already belong. Because you do. You belong at the top. Not because someone handed it to you, but because you've earned it inch by inch, battle by battle. You're not chasing perfection. You're chasing growth, and growth is messy. It's uncomfortable. It's full of moments where you question everything. But that's what makes it real. That's what makes it worth it.